I know this is supposed to be an exaggeration, but my level of exaggeration is here. This movie was about right here. Chase Lee Hockey here with the Blue Futon, reviewing Bottom. So what is this about? Pretty simple premise. Two lesbians in high school. They want to get with two other girls. However, they're not interested, or you could say they're not in the same class system in high school. So they're going to start a fight club to get all these females involved, and maybe they can make out with the people they want to. So, did I like this film? I thought it was not that bad. Yes, there is some hysterical moments, especially the part where they're trying to egg a house and TP a house. I thought that shit was funny. This does just attack everyone in this movie. It makes fun of everyone, and it is unapologetic, and I truly do like that. There is some exaggerations, though, where, like I said, I'm here, but it is, like, right here, like, I understand it's supposed to be a high school setting. It's supposed to be just complete bonkers, almost like a scary movie-esque, but not the horror. But come on, especially with the final sequence and then the prep rally sequence, stuff like that. I understand what they're going for, but it was way too over the top, and it took me kind of out of the movie. So let's talk about the positives of the film. I think the hour and 30-minute runtime does exactly what it needs to do. It's short, quick, to the point. The pacing is pretty solid. I think the acting of the two main girls involved are very good. The chemistry is completely there. You have the awkwardness that works, and you can call it the cuteness. I won't lie. One of the lesbians, I don't know if she's a lesbian in real life, but I thought she was pretty hot. And I'm like, rats. Well, maybe she's straight, maybe she's not. With the whole diversity and gays playing straights and straight playing gays, we're in this world where, like, oh, straight people never played, or gay people never play straight people. You could ask Neil Patrick Harris that, and Harold Kumar, as well as Gone Girl. Marshawn Lynch does a good job. Even on the bloopers, I feel like the bloopers are a little bit forced in this movie about maybe the person writing this movie, which she wrote and directed. She did Shiva Baby as well, and I have that over here somewhere. But I think her writing should have been the one that stayed in the movie, and hopefully it did, because I don't think a lot of this was improv, because hearing the improv in the bloopers, no. So luckily she has the comedic talent to push this movie through, and I'm going to say that is what made this movie succeed. The premise is fun with the whole fight sequences, how even though it shows that it's going to be bloody and ridiculous, it doesn't really show the oh shit moments of, like, yeah, if you get punched in the nose, it is fucking horrendous. If you get, kicked in the balls, kicked in the vagina, shin kicks, it is not like, oh, you're good, and then you're going to be healed like 2 days later. No, because this isn't a 30-day span of this movie. And then there's also a subplot about, this school, a huge rivalry that's going to kill one of their players. I think that could have been a little bit more, prominent in it, but I feel like the budget for this movie just didn't let the director shine for what she wanted to do. If I was smart, I'm going to guess this is about a $5 to $7 million budget. Bump this up to $10 million to make the very end more bonkers and just more realistic. All right, for my expectation management, like I said, the prep rally scene and the final battle sequence. The prep rally scene, I understand what they're going for about, men versus women, how they're not the same size. If you put this small female against a male boxer, the male boxer is going to completely annihilate this girl. However, they did it in a way where it was, like, distasteful. Like, you could do it like the whole Physical 100, the South Korean show, where it would be like kind of a 3-minute brawl. The boxer kicks her in the face while she's on the ground. That is completely unnecessary. And then while this is happening, the teachers and principal in the stands are just like, well, I guess we're just going to mess with the girls, because the girls lied to the other girls starting this fight club. So I was like, okay, I understand what you're trying to go for, but that sucked me out of the movie. What also sucked me out of the movie was the final, sequence. I truly think Marshawn Lynch should have been a, advisor, had an advisor credit, because he played football. Because it looks like the writer, the director, the editors, the people acting, everyone involved didn't know football in general. I mean, it was pretty bad of, like, did you guys ever research what a shoulder pad was? How it fits on the person? And why these football players wouldn't be wearing it in the hallway 24/7. I understand what you're going for, but it's like, And then the pads and the pants. It's actually complicated to put the knee guards, the thigh guards, and the pants. It is not an easy thing. It's not comfortable whatsoever. And the shoulder pads. Another thing, because you have to put sticky tape for the jerseys to stay on the shoulder pads. I totally forgot what it's called, but it's a pain in the ass to put them on the shoulder pads and then have the jerseys make them smooth. And then also when you have to pull the jerseys off and the sticky tape sticks to the jersey and the shoulder pads. Horrendous. I freaking hated it, especially when you have to do it with the safeties. They have the back pads as well. And you got to make sure it's smooth so they don't get pulled. Another story. But that's what I'm trying to say is the very end fight sequences when I see these girls like kicking people in the shin, the thigh pads, the shoulder pads, and the helmet. I'm like, if you're hitting someone in those shoulder pads, they're not going to feel it from this girl's punch. I know, like I said, it's an exaggeration, but it really took me out as someone that just knows a little bit of etiquette of football and what goes into what they are wearing. And then the death sequence where they're trying to do, like I said, it was a little bit anticlimactic of like, oh, what they did in the past of like hanging people, pulling people's limbs apart. But then this one was like, oh, there was no budget to finish this third act of the movie, was there? But overall, bottoms, I was pleasantly surprised on how funny this was and how open-minded it was, where it's like, you know what? We're just not going to have an agenda. We're just going to go balls to the wall just with everything. And I do appreciate that. However, like I said, expectation management of what I've seen and experienced. And when it goes to this level, it really was hard for me to take myself out of real life experience. So bottoms will receive a 3.5 out of 5 Futons, because at 70%. Let's see what the critics' news scores gave this one. So you have critics a 93% with 149 of them. Audience scored 91% with over 250. Here's critic consensus. Propulsive and over the top. Bottoms is an instant high school comedy classic that feels both current and nostalgic. Yeah, I could give it that. But the other main positive when this movie was, I was the only one in the theater. Like I said, when you're in Florida, this movie, I knew this wasn't going to do good when it goes out of the L.A., New York, scene. When it goes around to like Texas, Florida, the Midwest, people are going to be like, what the hell is this movie? Because let's be honest, in L.A., San Francisco, New York, where they're saying like, 1 in 5 families now has like a gay or transgender kid in their, family. Why is it only in the state of California it's like it? It's almost like an agenda or turning into more of a cult. Anyway, 91, 93, 70. Chase Black with the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know things. Buton Topi, Buton. Think about a great day. And I don't care if you watch this today, tomorrow, week, or month, or a year from now. I love every single freaking one of you. And if you have a chance to see this, I actually recommend it if you want silly, silly laughs.